Make sure you take oil for your sleds, belts, and spark plugs. And by all means, we all know that we need the most famous tool that saves our lives is the bungee. All the trials and tribulations that we've gone through in this trip, and every group has gone through them, it tested our mettle. And this group stepped up to the plate. But when we needed help, we helped each other. And we got through whatever the problems were by working together as a team. When you get on those sleds, which will be pointed in that direction towards the river, starting in front of the hotel in Rosa 4, you can feel proud that you've accomplished something that no other group ever has. So you'll be riding into the history books of organized snowmobiling this morning, people. I get on my sled, which will be in the lead this morning, and you see me turn around. The words you're going to hear me shout are, "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. We're going to Alaska." Planning started about 3 years ago, but when it really became intense was March of last year. We had made an announcement about January that we were going to do the ride, and we signed up 12 people right away. And then somebody suggested put it in the MSA magazine just to let people know what you're doing. So I thought that's a pretty good idea. So we put it in the MSA magazine, and within the first week after it appeared in the magazine, I had 70 phone calls.
On February 15th, 2010, 72 men and women between the ages of 39 and 82 set off on a true international adventure, crossing 4 states, 5 provinces, and concluding in the great state of Alaska. This journey will challenge the body, heart, mind, and soul, defying conventional wisdom and doing what some say couldn't be done. The riders of MichCanSka embarked from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, to challenge that theory.
We teamed up with the city of Sault Ste. Marie in the I-500 race. They allowed me to drop the green flag and start the race, and we've got an ongoing partnership. It was the first charity that they ever sponsored in the 42-year history of the race. So that was a phenomenal accomplishment.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
We took off on the ride at 7:45 this morning. We drove to the Sioux 500 racetrack. The people from the board of directors were there. They opened the track up for us, and our group was honored in being able to drive 1 lap around the most famous snowmobile racetrack in the world. We then started the trip and drove over to the tunnel under I-75 where the trail begins. And on the embankment wall of that tunnel, you now will see a sign that says MichCanSka, Highway to Alaska, Tok 4,000 miles. And the MichCanSka logo is proudly hanging on that wall, made out of polished stainless steel. And when we stopped at the tunnel, we were greeted by the mayor and all kinds of city officials who have been really excited about MichCanSka from day one. They've been strong supporters of the event and strong supporters of diabetes research. They were there and presented us with a proclamation.
And it says, proclamation from the city of Sault Ste. Marie, MichCanSka, snowmobile trip for diabetes research. Whereas on Monday, February 15th, Wednesday, February 17th, and Friday, February 19th, 2010, 72 avid snowmobilers, maybe a few more than that, but in 3 separate groups will initiate a dream trip of a lifetime from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to Tok, Alaska. And whereas this journey will challenge the endurance of these participants and their machines as they initiate this trip through Michigan's Upper Peninsula, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and North Dakota, crossing into Canada through the provinces of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia, then into Canada's Yukon Territory, and finally back to the United States and the state of Alaska. And whereas this trip will organized by Vietnam veteran Bill Bradfield to both draw attention to fight for a cure for diabetes, which affects 23.6 million Americans with a direct and indirect cost to the United States of $174 billion per year.
And it was just a great thing to see that the whole city of Sault Ste. Marie was behind us. And then when we started our engines and drove past all those officials, they held out their hands and we gave them high fives as we drove through the tunnel. And once I got under that tunnel, after 3.5 years of planning, day after day in, day out, weekends, I told everybody, I said, you're going to hear me scream above the roar of your engines, because I'm so happy that the planning part is now done and we're actually on the trail.
We've got diabetic goodies and we've got regular goodies and we've got water for the sleds too. It's from some of the businesses here in Paradise.
Well, your leader has a problem.
Oh no, what's the
Now
problem?
when he goes to the bathroom, his brand new Clang suit, the inner layer, the zipper is stuck in the up position.
That was good. A little tough, but good. The trails are a little bit rough, but we made it. Long day.
The trails weren't that great, but that's Michigan. When you get a lot of snow, you know, in their sleds, they beat them all up. So I think we're on our way and looking forward to a good night's sleep tonight.
With the harsh conditions of the second morning, the problems that such a large group could face are compounded tenfold. Despite the weather, the MichCanSkans push forward towards Tok, Alaska.
I love being with a lot of people, friends, meeting new friends, and I have met a lot of friends. Going to Alaska would be perhaps one of my greatest adventures. I've had plenty of adventure, but this one here, I believe after our 20 days is going to top any other adventure that I ever had.
This has been a tremendous thing. I think it'll qualify for a record of some sort because it really has taken and motivated the people to pay attention to who we are and what we're doing.
It's a challenge for me because of some medical problems that I have myself. So it's a test of myself and it's a test of the whole system, really.
Well, that's something that I've wanted to do since the early 70s, but could never really put it together.
This makes it special for me. First of all, it's a charity run. It's something that we're doing good for other people. That's why it's special to me.
A little behind schedule, but they don't have a way to get out of this place. We didn't know that until we do now. A little bit ago, we have a way. So we're headed now for Superior, Wisconsin, and then we're going to drop down to Moose Lake and then up toward McGregor and Palisade and then up to Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Well, Bobby out here, beautiful. We should have a good ride. I love it.
Last year our phone rang and Bill had called and wanted to know if we would be willing to work with him on this project that he thought of. He said it's something that's never been done before. Now, we're always looking for unique ways of raising funds. There are a lot of charities and organizations out there that have things that represent them that no one's ever done before. Everybody wears the bracelets, and they started someplace. Everybody wears the ribbons. They started someplace. I had always hoped and thought that somewhere we would come along with something that nobody had ever thought of before. MichCanSka was a word, it never existed.
Everything's perfect right now.
Everything's good. The trail is beautiful.
This is our group leader today.
Everybody's staying with us.
George Patel, and he's doing a great job.
Hey, what we're trying.
The estimated 4,000-mile journey through ice, snow, and unforeseen conditions will test every part of the MichCanSka riders. This adventure is not for the faint of heart or the inexperienced adventurer.
What it meant as far as people working together, that a lot of these people don't know anybody else. I tried to talk my friends into it, nobody else wanted to come. We don't know where the trail goes. We're not lost, but we just don't know where the trail goes. There's a difference.
Pete's down here with it. His machine won't start.
Might be a little issue down there right now. What happened is Pete went down there and was having a little difficulty getting it started.
She's dead.
Well, things are going very, very well. We had a terrific morning. The trails were beautiful. It was mostly railroad tracks all the way. And we averaged probably 45. We could have averaged 55, 60 easy.
Here's 2 of the 7 girls on this trip.
This little solenoid here.
You want a piece of
See that wire?
tape put on that wire?
Yeah, I do. I'll use some Gorilla tape. Be right there for now. Slide this tape in there.
Man, oh man.
There we go.
Oh, the grind and the schedule and the toll. Yes, it did. And particularly in the first, I'd say 5 to 6 days.
One of the many challenges faced by group leaders is when and where to fuel. Although a lot of the trails are marked for fuel, food, and modern conveniences, keeping track can sometimes be a daunting task.
Yeah, we're going right down in here to get gas, so.
It's an issue. Line them up. Gonna get gas.
I tell you, I've been very enthused about snowmobiling for a good many years. And I enjoy being out in the woods. And I said, you know, I would go on that. Well, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in snowmobiling. I've done a lot of it. And I think that if I just relate from the beginning to the end of the things that have transpired, they're going to be very interested.
We'll make it though. This is not unusual for a trip. This is just common day, everything that we do.
Put Mark's back there for us.
Yeah, there comes Big Don coming up. Don.
We have tremendous bonds already formed. People are helping other people, people are congratulating. If someone has a little problem, people run to help them. They are sharing helmets.
We got to go past the 78 loops, and the ones that said that lake back there, that's quite a ways back. We got to go clear back past that.
This is probably close to 18, 20 miles.
Right there.
Little minor mishap.
Well, you know, we can't be jacking around at nighttime.
We got quite a ways back.
My husband and I jumped on board a year ago. He was reading the paper. He had to go play pool. He left, and he's like, I want to do this. Left the paper on the counter. I came home from work. I looked at the paper, and I said, oh, this is something we got to do. I got on my cell phone. I said, honey, we're going to Alaska. He said, you want to go too? To have the chance to try and help some people with diabetes, that's priceless.